Hi, welcome back to the final December segment of Authors, Writers, Books, and Beyond. I'm Kathy, and I am thrilled to end the show with Jessica Moore telling you about her soon-to-be finished work in progress.
Yes.
And I'm going to...
Okay, yeah, it's obviously young adult fantasy, as you mentioned. The working title is Becoming Wellborn right now.
And can you share the previous working title?
The previous working title was Loose Stitches, and that was more about my writing style at the time than what was going on in the story. But it follows two high school students and their sisters, and some signs and symbols, kind of with a supernatural bend, start revealing themselves, and they end up finding more about their mother, who has passed years prior. So they kind of end up stumbling into this new world where they find out she was a leader, and they basically just wreak havoc on all these systems that she set in place to protect their people. So they have to make a choice, and ultimately the book is about sacrifices and whether or not anything is really worth making a sacrifice for. So
Great
I'm
takeaway.
Almost there, and I'm almost finished. I'm right at the finish line. I worked on the last scene this morning.
Yay!
So it's really exciting. Really excited to be done. That was my ultimate goal, was just when I turned 34, was just to, I'm going to finish a book. And and here we are.
Yay, congratulations.
So, thanks. I'm almost
You're
done
young to finish a book. That's wonderful.
So, yeah. I couldn't have done it without you. And
yeah, the group has helped, doesn't
it?
it?
Yeah.
And all the different inputs.
Absolutely. And it just keeps you moving through the self-doubt and feeling like a fraud at times. And I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, but I'm doing it, and it's gotten me to the end of this journey, and we'll see what happens next. I have no idea where I go after this, but
all writers, I think, have that self-doubt.
Absolutely.
They think we're not really a writer.
That was one of the first things you said to me, and I think I almost cried because I had never met anybody else to say something like that to me, and so I knew that it was going to be a good fit right away when we met each other.
You give so much in your critiques.
Oh, thanks.
You are a great respecter of voice, which is really, I think, one of my first hopes in a critique group.
Yeah.
And also, your viewpoint is you back it up.
Oh, thanks.
You don't just slash.
I love doing it. I love looking at what people create and trying to figure out as a reader where they're going or what they're doing or what this means in the bigger sense. And I really think it's an art form, and I love looking at your work and trying to figure it out that way. So,
and I think you have a
wider
audience than just YA.
Yeah, I mean, originally, because the girls begin their journey at the last day of high school, so they're 18, so I can kind of get away with more stuff.
Yeah, we have certain limits in the YA.
Yeah, because it covers a big base. You're looking at middle grade and then, that 18 to 23 also. So that's a long
And YA
genre.
is kind of the big new book club interest for adults, where they didn't maybe read YA before. My book club started 2 years ago and has continued. They were fascinating books.
Yeah.
So that adult world has opened up to it in a whole, with relish, actually.
Yeah. There's a freedom to writing young A, I think. You have characters that are right at the peak of adulthood, and those are really important times in anyone's life, and the way you feel at that time is still so, maybe not dead inside. I mean, you feel so alive.
That's a good feeling.
Yeah. So I think that comes across in YA is your characters feel everything so much.
And you've tried a couple conferences?
I have. I went to my first conference up here in Moke Hill. That Antoinette May puts on each year, and that's Gold Rush. And it was phenomenal because both times I went to a conference, it hit me at really critical points because, like I said, with that self-doubt, you just kind of stop. It stops you dead in your tracks sometimes. And so going to the conference and meeting people that felt the same way as I did and were so passionate about what they were doing gave me that extra push to move forward, move through the self-doubt, move through feeling like a fraud, and just doing it. Just doing it every day, waking up and getting it done. And
Squaw Valley helped too?
Oh my God, Squaw Valley was awesome. I had no idea that they did the free
Open
part.
to the public.
Yeah, open to the public. And you talked me into going. I wasn't going to do it. I almost backed out. And I went and I sat in front of that panel of young adult agents and was just like, oh my God, this is so exciting. It was so exciting just to listen to them talk about young adult books and
see
how
their
passionate they are. I think one of them said, you know, what he was looking for is just to fall in love. And I was like, oh, I know that feeling.
It helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is. Like falling in love when you find a book that you really connect with. You know?
It's not just staying at your desk or wherever you write. We have to force ourselves out a little.
Oh, yeah, you have to. I would have never guessed a year ago that I would be sitting here with you on your TV show. Like, what? That's crazy.
I wonder what's next.
Right, yeah, me too.
But it's scary in a lot of ways, but it's also invigorating.
Absolutely. Every time I do something new, it's something wonderful happens, you know, because it's new, and it's been a great year because of the group and because of you, I've just pushed myself in ways that I never thought I would, and
we do have to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's exciting.
It's worth it, huh?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think those are Antoinette's to me one of the best conferences ever because it's
I loved it.
The boutique is personal.
Yeah.
A lot of networking because you've been there.
Yes.
And you've been there. We've all been there. I love teaching there because she offers. There's no pressure because it's not a pitch conference.
Right.
She offers a relaxed, trusting environment for you to grow in.
Yeah.
And you do. You have to push yourself there too.
Yeah.
Like to talk to strangers. Yeah. And they become writing friends.
Oh, I made so many friends going both years. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Squaw, to me, I always mention Oakley, now that he's gone especially. He just brought New York to the West Coast and offered us opportunities that were not here for us before.
Right.
For the film and screen, you can go down to L.A.
Yeah.
But writers didn't have that.
No.
Right.
We just didn't have the open door. He opened it wide, and his family continues, Sands Hall and Brett and Stacy, to keep that open to us with the board, which you meet people there and they're just, it's a very laid back environment. I felt that's non-threatening there too.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I was out of my element while I was there. The vibe was
Do you almost feel
very
like you're
relaxed.
more with your own kind?
I went up and, totally. And then I went up and sat in front. And so it was great. It was a great experience.
And that's a big deal for a writer, you guys. We don't always sit in the front.
Yeah, usually we're in a dark room staring at a white screen.
Right.
So I think I love your story.
Thank you.
I think your story is going to be coming out real soon.
Thank you.
You both drew interest from an agent there too, which is, and your story wasn't even.
My story was not finished, and I told him that I was only at the halfway mark when I met him. So now that I'm creeping towards being done,
You're ready to send.
I'm ready to send, and hopefully he'll
exciting.
still be interested.
Oh, I think so.
We'll see.
So for the new year, what's on the horizon, ladies? We have a few minutes left, and then we're going to dinner. Don't you wish you could be there for that? What's on the horizon?
I say just keep trucking. That's my plan. Okay, I'm just going to keep going forward as ideas come to me. I want to do them.
Right.
Little ideas in the back of my head always. So.
Creativity flow.
Yeah.
What about you, ladies?
Oh, most definitely finish the second book. I mean, yeah, most definitely do that.
Yeah.
And Jess, you moving on to another one?
I am. I think that where I am at the finish, I think it goes right into a second book. And I would like to figure out what I'm going to do with that children's story, like, because I have it, I don't know what to do with it. So
We could help you with that.
Right. So that's the plan for me.
So the new year holds promise. And
Yes.
excitement. And for us, excitement's a big word, you guys. Because writing is quiet.
Yeah.
We're alone. And our thoughts, we talk to our characters. You know, they talk back. It's not your usual job, but it's fun, huh?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, I thank you all for coming. I am so excited for all of you. I think you have wonderful things ahead of you in 2016. And Sarah, we will be sure to, when February hits, spread the word, you guys.
Please
Mention
do.
this to your friends and your family and even the people that aren't your friends. Go meet them and offer to share a new story. I'm going to wind down for the year. I'll mention to you in January, I'll be bringing some new changes from New York City to you and talking with, I have a New York Times bestseller coming on also, and I have film, novel, and play. So it'll be an interesting show. Thank you for joining us and meeting these lovely ladies. You have a wide area of genre here, children's, fantasy, YA, and Carrie's still deciding her genre. And I have news for you in 2016 too for my novels and the children's books. So check in with us, look up Sarah. Can they flash Sarah's website one more time? Is that okay? Or you can just tell them?
Yeah, it's SarahArmstrongGarner.com.
And look her up because she has an interesting aspect to her launch that will be really something. There it is on the screen. One more time for you to catch it and remember it into the new year. And that is a phenomenal cover.
Thank you.
It's stunningly beautiful. Thanks for joining us. Happy New Year.